Alright, we should be back online right now. I hope that my game is finally loading. I've just quickly updated my hardware because it wasn't at the most recent version yet. And yeah, let's hope that it's fine now. Seems that my game now is the one having problems. So that's not nice at all. Yeah, I think that I now need to restart my game. Oh no, seems to be working finally. I don't know what's going on, but hopefully it's a bit less laggy now. I don't think this is what's supposed to happen. Yeah, this can't be good. I think I've just killed my whole game.
Formation lab has started.
Ah yeah, of course. I think that it might have been just a game. I didn't realize we were about to start. Alright, honestly that's on me. Oh holy, that's not good mate. What happens when you don't leave the pit? Are you starting last then? Or are you just... Oh, that's great to hear. That's really nice. I hope that it will remain that way. But let's switch over to the hypercar class, who are also about to go on the way.
Green flag, green flag.
And we are racing in EXA. Let's switch over to Marco Di Buono, starting from pole position here. And he will lead us down into turn 1 with the Genesis car behind him of Adam. Heading through the three cars of turn 2 and 3 now. Geez, these hypercars make a lot of sounds. And there's a tire flying through the air already. There's literally a flying tire. But it's Marco Di Buono with the good starts. Let's see who's behind him. Oh, Aiden's already out. What's Aiden have to the pits? There are a lot of cars in the pits. Let's see how the GT cars are stacking up. Oh, this isn't going well. So just settling the pits. Here we have Mini Rico as well in the battle. He's fighting with... oh, it's not Red Bull. I feared that this would happen. But anyway, in the GT class, it's Rogerson who leads ahead of Ali. And I think that Aleski will have a great race. He will probably be fighting with Rogerson all the way through. And then third place for the Munoz. I hope that I will pronounce the names right, sorry. And then fourth place for the second Porsche. That's Koskinen. That's Koskinen in the Grado car. Ah yeah, so it was the Red Bull livered cars of Thorsten and Spa. And then we've got the Peugeot mix as well of Volvo. I am seeing some of these for the first time, so please excuse me. But let's take a look at the hypercar class. it's still Marco who's leading, and he's actually got quite a bit of a gap already over Moden in the Genesis. It seems that we've got a nice little battle going on between the Genesis of Scheller and Burke as well in the BMW. They are going side by side through the SS of turn 6 and then turn 7. Now heading through the hairpin in turn 8. Will he do a cheeky dive bomb? No. It's Scheller who defends the inside line. I love that they included the position boards. The game is very loud with all these engine noises though, so please tell me if I need to put it down a bit. I think that I probably have to. But it's Scheller and Hayden Burke who are fighting here over fourth position right now. Still very early on in the race, we've got an hour of racing left. But it's the Genesis driver who holds firm right now. But Aiden went through the sweeper of turn 11 and then the outside line into turn 12. He tried, but then he made a bit of contact and he's forced off the track. Ah, that's really unlucky, Wally. That's really unlucky. Yeah, that's not nice at all. So there will definitely be a lot of catch up to do for Wally. I think he is the guy on P10 or P11. But I will have to see once we switch back to the GT cars. I just want to see. Ah, yeah, never mind. Let's switch right now. I just wanted to. Hello, Guusje. Welcome in the stream. It's the first round of the EXA World Championship here in the Montreal. I I hope that everyone's doing alright, of course. But yeah, just like I predicted, Aleski is now fighting with Rogerson. We know that Alu is quick, of course. He does a lot of endurance racing, so he's got a lot of experience with these types of cars. And I suspect that Rogerson might also have some experience judging from space. But these two guys will definitely be fighting it out for the win in the GT class. Let's just stay on board with Rogerson for a second. What position is Rodian, by the way? He's already up into P11, yeah. So he was that guy in 11th after all. He's behind Danger. 10 full seconds is the gap. I must say though that I love Danger's livery. He's got some nice red and white scheme. But yeah, at the front it's Rogerson and Valetsky fighting. Rogerson is actually beginning to pull away a bit. They are now over a second from each other. Let's see if we've got any what's going on in the hypercar field. Yeah, it's really close actually. Look at all these cars close to each other. Nico he's gone. He's jumping for Torsten Bockhart. I just have to look at the pronunciation of it. I must say that his Red Bull livery is amazing. Yeah, in Yacha's drivers can actually customize their liveries. I don't know how they do it, but with what kind of pack I believe that's in the LMU chat. I know that Aiden's running a custom livery, I believe. And of course this Red Bull car here. But yeah, they are able to customize their liveries. Pretty cool if you ask me. Let's see how they fought. It's still Marco Di Buono who leads. He's got a small little gap in front of the Genesis car. That's still Adam Modem, I should say. He's in the grey Genesis. You've got a black one and a grey one. And he is one in the grey livery. Third place is there for the Peugeot driver of Verdi Jersey. No. Jersey. I'm just gonna call it that. I'm sorry if I get any pronunciation, by the way. You can just send me a message in the chat and I will do it better next time. But yeah, that fourth place is for the BMW driver in his own custom livery as well. And then fifth place for Alinga. He's the first of the Ferrari drivers. Oh, we've got Genesis first. That's shallow. Same as shallow as well. And that will cost him places. It's behind Coleman. He was actually only fourth place at the start, but he's already lost out on a lot of ground. But look at these guys, they've all DNF'd and are in the pit next round, so a lot of drivers not taking a start here. But yeah, with Sammy Chandler, that spin could provide very costly. Actually, some nice battery now as the Red Bull livery car Thursday. And Porsche, the Peugeot in the fight as well. But the interesting thing, just referring to what I was saying before, is that people are now going to catch the slower GT cars. We haven't had any race here yet, so there are a lot of good guys in here, of course, but for the drivers that haven't got any experience, it will be very tricky to let everyone past. As we see Michael Mustache here, let's see what position he's in. He's in third cars here. How's Roddy doing, by the way? He's still behind Danger, but has he caught up any? Seems like he has. The gap was 10 seconds. I suggested around 7 or 8. So Roddy, after his unfortunate start, is starting to gain some places. He's in the Valentine Rossi car. Let's see how Leski's doing. He's 1.8 seconds behind Rogerson. Yeah, this is a lot easier for me to see their full names. But yeah, Aleski dropped back a little. Yeah, you're right, Jess. Danger 30% tires. Oh no, fuel I think it is. Is it tires or fuel? I'm not sure actually. Not a very good catch of you, Chess. Danger already on 13%. How has he managed to do that? Oh, we've got a nice battle for third place going on between the custom livery car of Leandro Domingos and E2 Koskinen. They are fighting over third place. Still a long way to go, like I said earlier. But now this is the first real indication of how the pace stacks up from everyone. Which drivers are setting the pace here. Oh yeah, I think that it's about battery as well, yeah. That would explain why it's so significantly lower. Yeah, probably. It's about fuel. That would make sense. Because everyone is on the same battery level or fuel level apart from Danger. But Danger going for the very short first stint in that case. And he's now got Rowley for good company as well. Let's see this battle. It's the battle of the BMWs, the Bioshell Turbo. They've now got 3 hypercars catching them as well. So this is gonna be interesting. Please tell me the Danger's going. Yeah, Danger's letting go. sure racing cleanly. But the bigger problem he now has is that Rowley is right behind him. Rowley is flashing red lights almost beneath him. And could he already begin to make a move into turn 11, or is it a bit too early on? No, he has to stay behind Danger at the moment. But Danger then goes a bit wide, and that means that Rowley is now up to 9th place. Yeah, 9% fuel isn't going to cut it for him now, unless he tries to profit from his early stint. I don't know if this was the stint he would have hoped for. It should just be a road stop, right? Only an hour of racing left. But if everyone boxes later on, and then they only have to pit for 20% of fuel, then actually maybe it isn't even that bad for Danger. But yeah, Noah Rogerson is definitely still extending his gap on Aleski. Let's see how the hypercar guys are doing. Is Marco still in the lead? You think so? Yeah, Marco Di Buono is still in the lead. He's only 7 seconds ahead of Adam. And then third place for Hachuashi. I think that's the right pronunciation. He's also almost handing back, still within 10 seconds of Marco. That is it just me, or is that Porsche car absolutely gorgeous? Although they do have some kind of rear ring now, they didn't have that before. Here we've got a nice battle going on between Ocon and Mofo as well. So let's see if Gianluca can maybe make a place. And we've got a guy split as well. It seems to be the Genesis Hyundai guy against George Bennett. I must say that's really interesting livery because he basically took the rally livery of Hyundai and put it onto the Genesis car. The Genesis is of course the luxury brand of Hyundai. But yeah, that spin definitely set him back around 10 seconds. But let's look at this battle then. Gianluca Monfo on the back of Torsten Bachart. The drivers are beginning the game with, of course, the first 2 laps on cold tires with Albon on the stretch. But here he goes. He's fully into the slipstream. But then they've got 2 guys fighting ahead of him as well with Jamie Calvi and of course Ross as well. Here he goes to make a bit of contact. It wasn't the cleanest of passes. He's still there. Oh, this was nearly so messy with the GT car. That was the Lexus. But Gianluca makes the position. I mean, Torsten makes the position on Gianluca Monfo. So that's him up to P6 now. P5 even. There is definitely some fuel spread going on. Marco Di Buono already 8 seconds. So Adam must have made a mistake. It was only 5 seconds before. But he's still up into P2. They've got 70% of fuel, so after just a quarter of the race has finished, does that mean that if you just save a bit of fuel and lift and coast through every corner, you can technically make it to the end? I think it does, but you lose out a lot of time. Yeah, the fuel spread is definitely very big from third to fourth. Edinburgh all over the place with Verdi right now. Let's take a look at the GT guys then. Aleski is still 3 seconds behind Noah Rogerson. How's Rowley doing? Has he made up any ground to Jane? Yes, I think. But still 12 seconds, so I think it will take some time before he can get close to him. Jamie, of course, isn't one of the least experienced drivers as well. He's got a lot of experience on the F1 game, but these GT cars are very different in handling, as I found out myself. That's also why it was very difficult to drive these cars on controller. We still got 4 people watching, that's nice. Who do you guys think is gonna win tomorrow? Because I think that Alu, if he can be consistent enough through the second half of the stint, he might be able to get past Archerson, but only if he makes a mistake realistically or just goes through his tires. The difference between the GT tires are very different than the F1 tires, by the way. Normally in GT you can see them do like 2 stints of 1.5 hours on one tire set. But yeah, it's Rody in P8 now. So what's happened to Jamie? Has he boxed? He's out! What's happened to Jamie? Jamie just suddenly retired. That's interesting. At least for Rody it means that he gains 1 place. Here we have Marco still in the lead by 10 seconds. He's slowly but surely beginning to build up quite a bit of a gap to Adam. He's gaining about 4, 5, 6 tenths lap. But yeah, after the guy in third, there's a very big gap to Aiden. 20 full seconds. Let's see how Nick's doing. Still inside the top 10. Here we have it. He's actually fighting with Sam and Sammy Shadow. We've seen him spin early on. He made a nice level 360. And now he's got past ahead, back ahead of Mini Nico. The Scotsman. Yeah, he's definitely gaining a lot more. Let's take a look at the GT guys then. Still, we actually don't have a battle. It's still Leonardo Domingos battling with the I believe he's Finnish driver, Koskinen. We've got these guys battling basically throughout the whole race. So let's see if Leonardo can hang on. 7 tenths of a second as they now enter the finish. A third of the race has been completed. But I do think that Leonardo has the better straight line speed, because through the corners he is losing a few tenths and then straight he getting back a bit. So let's see here now. He actually loses out a bit. So I do think it might have just been a good exit. Well, it will be interesting to see if Ito can get a grip on the podium places. Also, Miguel Fernandez has got less than 30% of fuel right now. As we see the blue flags, that's for the Aston Martin of Dublin, I should say. I'm just sometimes taking a little break from to actually hear this nice engine sound. That's the thing I like as well about endurance racing. You've got all these different types of sounding cars, and you really can hear the difference. Of course, with the Aston Martin straight cut V12, I believe that was the Hyundai car again. That must have been, yeah, it was Benham. It was George Benham who spun then in the Genesis Hyundai guy car. was a very weird place to spin out though. It was inside turn 12. Did he make contact with a GT car? Or... It's very strange for me. Here's Minimiko still going strong. He's past Sammy again. Sammy has lost out a lot of time. I think he must have spun as well. Here we have him. He's boxing as well. So what has happened to Sammy? Has he got any damage? I hope that he will keep running in the race, because he still got 60% of fuel left. Maybe he just flat spotted the tires. And you can make it to the end of the race, of course, if you box now, but you will have a heavier car throughout the race. Here we see Sammy rolling into his pit box. Let's see if he gets new tire changed. He comes back out reasonably quick, but no added fuel for him unless the thing says otherwise, but no. Here we see another guy, that's Hario, and he has less than 20% of fuel as well. So we've definitely seen some type of different fuel tactics of people just not filling up their cars to the max in order to gain a slightly performance through the first stint. But then of course having the heavier car on the second phase, as he wants a bit wider now. Here we have Danger, he's come in for a tank of fuel. The thing about commentating on Bahrain as well is, normally for the people who are listening, usually like to commentate, you'll also maybe have experienced this. When it's the first race of the season, you don't really know what kind of storylines are on, so you just kind of need to see who is fast throughout the race. So that's something that also makes us tricky today. But nonetheless, we still have Domingos battling with Cosmo. These two guys have been glued together throughout the full race. And they're now 3 seconds adrift. This is the closest that E2 has ever been throughout the race. And he's now behind Domingos. Or I think it's pronounced Domingos. So we've got Leonardo Domingos here, just before E2 Koskinen. And he's now within half a second of the these two guys, like I said before, they have very similar pace, but they hasn't been able to make an overtake so far. Something that is very interesting though, I do want to say it, is Rowley is literally driving the same pace as the leaders. Noah Rogerson in first. The gap when the last time I looked literally was 56 seconds, now it's 55. So Rowley has very good pace, and one can only imagine what could have been for him if he didn't start in the pits. But now, as we go into start-finish, it's Koskinen very close to the back of Domingos. 2/10 of a second to get now, over start-finish. Domingos with his first defensive action of the race. Will he stick to the inside? No. So will Koskinen dive to the inside? Yes, he does. Koskinen is on the inside. They race each other cleanly, and it is Domingos who holds firm. Seems like that outside line actually does have some kind of speed to it. He could just keep his line, keep the momentum, and stays out in front of Koskinen. Everyone, of course, still has the same amount of fuel. The only guy that doesn't is Miguel Fernandez. But apart from that, everyone who is yet to stop is on the same fuel strategy, as Domingos takes a different line as well. He's really trying to play it defensive here now. There isn't any opportunity for Koskinen to sneak through as we now enter the backstretch. 3.5 seconds. I don't think that he will be able to make an overtake here, but who knows. It's a great battle nonetheless. Maybe with the shorter line. No, nothing yet, but he will set himself up for maybe a chance going into the final corner. And here he goes. Koskinen gets himself up into P4 now through turn 13 it is. Or turn 14 I should say. It is turn 14 because the sweeper before that is turn 13. Now into turn 15 and smoking called turn 16. And it's Koskinen for the first time in this race who gets himself up into the top 3. But then Domingos maybe fight back. He's fighting back for Porsche. It's a German derby, you can say. Domingos in his BMW goes for the outside line. We've seen him pull it off before. And seems like once again he will try. But no, it's a great defense from Koskinen, who just keeps the inside line. And he will retain the Q3 for now. Will Domingos be able to stay with it now, as we see Mini Nico getting left? I hope that these guys don't interfere with the leader, of course. Let's see if Domingos can use these back markers, or I mean front markers, to his advantage. The front runners in the hypercar class are approaching him now. It should still be a second or eight before Adam comes here in the BMW. The hypercar class. As Nico parked again as well. Let's take a look at the hypercar at the moment. It's still Adam P2, yeah, ahead of Verdi, and then Edinburgh in P4. It seems like Verdi is actually maybe getting back a time. They are yo-yoing between 3 and 6 seconds throughout the whole race. Let me remind you, everyone apart from Danger and Stone still needs to make a pit stop. So things can definitely change a bit. But out in front is still Marco with a 15-second lead over Adam. And he's just been the class of the field today. Nobody's been able to match his pace in the Monza racing car. I do believe that Marco also has the Group 2 license, as we see on screen. So it's no surprise that he is really quick. I mean, we should expect it from an X1 driver, of course. But still, great pace for Marco today. He now actually gets past Aleski, and Aleski is running 3, 4 to 5 seconds behind Rogerson. There we have it. It seems like Rogerson throughout the race has just been able to consistently get laps on a little bit more than Alu. He's just been able to have fairly better speed, because I haven't really seen one of them make mistakes before. So yeah, it's really just about whoever is a little bit faster than the other and able to be faster than the other guy throughout every single lap. And it seems like Noah Rogerson has been able to do that every single lap. He does have less fuel, Rogerson only has 34% and Alu has 36. So maybe Alu has been lifting. Maybe that's why he's dropped back a bit. But yeah, for Noah Rogerson, he's just had the perfect race so far. I haven't been able to catch him make a single mistake so far. And yeah, E2 Koskinen has now also pulled the 2-second gap on Leonardo Domingo. So these guys are still. So Koskinen is now starting to open up the gap. We did see him drop back throughout the first part of the race a little bit, but never more than 2 seconds off the mediums, I should say. But yeah, now he's just beginning to open up the gap. He still has 60 seconds to Alu, so it will be a tough task for him to catch up to him, but never say never. Let's see how Rode is doing. He's losing a little bit of time to the leaders, but judging from the guys in front, he is starting to gain a little bit. Let's see if Foley flashes his lights for the show a bit. Say hi to the stream, Foley. There we have it. Miguel Fernandez has 2 boxes left. We see him coming to the pit as I say so. He only got 4% of fuel left. Here he comes to the nice and car gets put up on the pit shortcut. Let's see where he comes out. I think he should be able to rejoin ahead of danger. But we can see his fuel add up on the left side of our screen. He's got 2% less than danger, but danger of course still needs to complete another lap. So I think that it will even out pretty much. So yeah, he will be on his way very soon. We've also got the Ferrari in the pit. Here we have Adam Saya Hario in the pit. His fuel tank is pretty much full, and the interesting thing is that he's boxed for like 7% less fuel than Fernandez did before. But they are in different classes, of course, so maybe that makes up a difference. But either way, both of them will have just about enough fuel, or just about not enough. Brody is pretty confident that he will be able to catch him before the end of the pit stop. So let me just look at the HDD numbers for a second. Brody has only got 4 seconds to pass him forward. In terms of fuel savings, they are about the same. Everyone from 1st to 8th hasn't boxed yet. After that, everyone except for Michael Moustache, amazing name by the way, hasn't boxed yet. I mean, has boxed. But yeah, Rody is definitely beginning to reel in Ross a bit. Only 4 seconds now. It was 4.7 when we started this lap. Rody's pace and it's actually really good today. I think he's been around the same of Alu, if you look at how much time he's lost compared to Rogerson. So he can be very proud of that. It's just a shame, like I've said a couple of times before, that the start didn't go how we planned it. He had to start from the pits and was only let go 30 seconds after the whole pack passed him. Otherwise, he would have been right in the battle for P5, or maybe even higher. How's the stream doing, by the way? I think I'm still a little bit quiet, but yeah, that's also my way of speaking now that isn't really perfect, that I'm still trying to figure things out. So that's also not helping with the quiet stuff. But yeah, it's this first race of the season, of course, is still a little bit of a pressure. So I think you guys can excuse me for that. E2 has already gained 6 seconds on Dominguez since his pass, so he really has great pace at the moment. He's gained back a few tenths on Elu, but nothing incredible. So these guys, I think, will finish before anything crazy happens. But they are starting to get inside that 20% fuel window. Rogerson already in that window. I think it's about 4 to 5% each lap. No, it would be way too high. They've been driving 40 minutes now on same fuel tank and it was about 80%. So you can do the math if you want. Seems like we might have got a nice battle on our hands here. We've got Gianluca Monfo here, just ahead of Aiden Look, 1.7 seconds between them. And if he gets lucky with traffic, that cannot change. The thing that interests me most is the fact that Hayden still has 30% of fuel left, though everyone around him basically has 25. So maybe that makes a difference. Rowley says that the gap is now down to 2.5 seconds, so I will cut back to that fight in a minute. I also am very sad to announce the fact that Sammy has retired from the race. Sammy Scheller, we did see him spin earlier on. He was fighting a bit with Mini Miko after that. And now it seems like he has given up the ghost. But let's watch Rowley then, only 2.5 seconds. And he has closed the gap, only 1.7 now. Let's look at the Lexus of Ross right here. Ross Ian Wiley. He's only 1.7 seconds ahead of Rowley, who's in the Valentino Rossi car still. Valentino Rossi himself isn't racing anymore on the World Endurance Championship, of course. He has come back to the GT World Challenge, and he's having lots of fun right now there. He did compete in Bathurst Cup, not Bathurst, in Brands Hatch, I should say, a couple of weeks ago. And I believe he finished around fourth, so he's definitely very quick because it's such a high level with guys like Kirkhofer and of course the Verstappen racing car also competing there. And lots of other guys like Lucas Auer, and the list goes on and on. I can say literally 1,000 names, Luke Hartog for example. But let's focus on the superstars on track right now. 1.1 seconds for Rody now. He seems to be gaining a lot of time on the straight. He gained back 6 tenths through that last back stretch. But now, start finish, the gap is only 0.7 seconds. He comes past Brian Bronkhorst, who was in the pits. Rowley does have a blue flag now of Mini Miko, and Mini Miko now actually goes wide. He missed his braking points a bit there. But yeah, Mini Miko is also still circulating just fine. He hasn't had any major incidents, which obviously for him is a good race. And here goes Rowley past Ross now. I don't know what's happened to him. Has he got a puncture or something? He's slowing. He suddenly lost a lot of pace. It seems like he just let Rowley through. Yeah, he's definitely still in full pace. But anyway, that moves Rowley up into P6 right now. But yeah, difficult to say what happened to Ross, I and Wildy. But yeah, the next victim, so to say, for Rowley will be Domingos, who's lost out on another place, but that's because he boxed. So he's now down into 5th place, and maybe that undercut will be the deciding factor of him catching up to Koskinen again. I'd be interested to see how that turns out. Let's see, how are the Hypercar guys doing? We've got the Aston guys in P8 and P9 now of Minimiko and Doko. It's like, I think that the pronunciation is like Coco, but then Doko. If not, then like I said, if you're listening, you can always tell me in chat. But yeah, he now is only 5 seconds behind Minimiko with a lot more fuel. So he should be able to catch him. Let's see how Nico's going. I actually haven't quite used the onboard camera just yet. He's now catching up to the back markers of Danger as well. Danger on his turn has just been left by the Domingos. Oh, that was very close from Nico. He nearly ran into the back of Danger. Interesting line from Nico there, you can say. As I will just ride on board with Aiden Burke, who's now trying to set up personal best lap time. He is also catching up to Gianluca again. And like I said before, he does have a lot of fuel still left. He's got 20% of fuel remaining. And that's more than anyone around him. Gianluca, one position ahead of him, only has 13% of fuel by comparison. And he's only 3 seconds up the road. So maybe he will catch up into Novo again. As Marco Di Buono is still leading by almost 30 seconds now. He's behind Brian Bronkhorst now. But yeah, you can definitely see the gaps here in Hypercar. They are very, apart from this panel, there are very big gaps all around. So that gives me the perfect opportunity to ask you guys in chat if you have anything fun to do this weekend. Maybe you've got something that you would like to share. Or some fun ideas, because I'm bored out of my mind right now. Not with the race, but like with the weekend. We've got the 24 hours of Nürburgring, of course, going on, so that will be fun to watch. And of course, tomorrow there's a big music event happening in Vienna as well. But let's look at Nova right now. He's only 3 seconds ahead of Berg, like I said, but he has 10% of fuel left, so he will have to box between 2 laps. And he's got 2 back markers ahead of him, that was close. That GT guy almost got into his way. He's just behind the Hyundai livery guy, car, I should say, of George Bennett. I do find it interesting to see how smooth he's got his car planted here. Because as someone, like I said, through basal controller, oh, there was a little bit of contact there actually. I believe he made contact with the GT car of Luca. That would be fun, Gianluca making contact with Luca. Let's see who that was. No, it was Liam actually. Liam Madsen. Some interesting stuff is happening in the GT class because Noah Rodgerson has just come into the pits. And he will now drop back into 3rd position. And that means that Alu is now in the lead for 1 or 2 laps. But he's only got 3% of fuel remaining. But he has been able to save 1 lap of fuel compared to his biggest rival this race. Here we see the Mustang coming out on track. Let's look on board with Alu now. In this lovely glowing Porsche. Yeah, look at how smooth his steering is. Here you can also see the LED pedal lighting up as we see Adam right behind him now, who is of course running in P2 inside the hypercar class. Let's see if the hypercar guys have actually made a pit stop, but if we will first quickly watch Aleski dive into the pits. Just 1% fuel left, he's in a personal best as well, so he has been able to push a bit as well. Here he comes into the pits. It actually hit 0%. We see Rody exiting the pits as well. E2 should be able to box as well. Here we see him. We've got the Porsche, the Grillo Porsche going. But yeah, Aleski only 2 seconds behind Noah Rodgerson right now. He does still have cold tires though, so let's keep an eye on that gap. I think that it should be expanding a little bit, maybe. I'm interested to see when his tires will be up to temperature. He hasn't actually lost out on any time compared to Noah through the hairpin there, and also throughout these corners, so he actually did gain a lot of time. We know that Rodgerson was like 7 seconds ahead of him before the pit stop. But yeah, here you see them, 2 leaders in 1 shot. Only 2 seconds is the gap now, and Aleski really is hounding Noah Rodgerson right now. It can't afford any mistake right now. 1.6 seconds. Yes, that's about the heirloom masterclass now. Has he timed this to perfection with the fuel saving? And is he now able to make significant strides to Richardson? Only 1.8 seconds the gap. We've also got a battle in the hypercar right now. Let me just switch with Gianluca Novo. He's just behind Aiden Burke, but Gianluca will have to box this lap. Aiden, of course, with 7% of fuel still remaining. Also, pit 3 is in the pits. He's actually already exited it. That's Ferdi Hashushi. Only 20% of fuel is needed if you ask him. So let's see how much fuel these guys will put in their tanks. Here we have Gianluca Novo in the pits then. 15, 16, 17, 18%. And yeah, it does seem like 18% is everything you need right now to make it to the end. We also see Thorsten Borgaard in the pits right now. He exited in 6th place. We actually have got 10 riders still in this race. Just as I say that, we see the battle for last place on track, with Hario trying to pass Mini Miko, but running right in the process. So that means that Miko is safe right now. How has he managed to get 42% of fuel in his car? He must have overfueled big time. And he must have fueled earlier than everyone else, of course. I don't know if he knew how many laps you needed, but he's definitely got a bit heavier car than everyone around him. Let's see, 0.6 seconds is the gap right now. Let's see as well if Alan has made any progress. Now the gap is stabilizing. 2.4 seconds now between them. So that means that I will just switch back to the fight with Miku. 0.7 seconds just the gap. And they are also fighting with back markers, faster cars, you name it. Let's ride on board with the Ferrari right now. He's chasing down the Valkyrie. They both got through that turn 10 hairpin cleanly, which is exactly what Miko needs right now. Just 4 minutes left inside this race, so we are almost at the end. But yeah, despite the fact that we are nearly done, there's still a nice battle raging between Miko and Haruya. But yeah, I'm wondering why Miko has got so much more fuel than anyone else. Let's watch how Rodi's doing, by the way. Rodi's up into P7. He's lost out a bit to the guys in front. So it does seem like he will swim up in P7 this race. Let's look at Rossi then. He's only got 5% of fuel remaining. So I think that he might have mistimed it a bit. I think that for him, it's the best case is just to start lifting at this point inside the corner already because with another pit stop you lose so much time. And he might lose out to Danger as well. No, never mind, Danger he will definitely finish ahead of. But he's definitely falling into the clutches of Fernandez. 0.7 of a second between these guys after nearly an hour of racing. I'm actually quite positively surprised by how the racing went. The first lap, of course, we had a lot of guys exiting the race, but after that, it's been quite clean actually. Also with the back markers, we did have a few spins in hypercar here and there, but apart from that, really well done. And I want to compliment everyone that's in this race. Ross, with his fuel, of course, does maybe have to lift a little bit more than everyone around him. So he just let Miguel Fernandez past him. As Danger is in a land of his own. The good thing about, because you know that in the EXA, in X4 I usually drive at the back all by myself. The positive thing about driving by yourself in this race is that at least you have multi-class racing. So there's never really a boring lap where you don't have to pay attention. So that's pretty cool. Let's see, are there any else going on? No, the field spread is definitely a lot bigger than before. Torsten has had a good recovery though. Torsten Borgaard. He was down into 10th place, I believe, between 8 and 10 at the start of the race. He went right a few times. He also spun into turn 9, and now he's up into the top 5 positions. Look at that fuel save though. He's definitely saving a lot now, but I think that he should be all good. Only 12 seconds remaining in the race, so that means that I will just catch the leaders. I believe that it's Marco who will come over the line first, and then only after that it will classify Rogerson as the winner once he comes back. But I might be wrong though. Let's see where on track they are. Marco just rounds the back stretch of the circuit. He goes up to B, up to turn 9 and turn 10. It's been a formidable. It really has. Every single lap, he's gained a few tenths on the guys behind him. I remember it being 4 seconds, then 8, then up to 10, and now 30 seconds. So yeah, it's just been a perfect race for him. Let's see if Rogerson will be classified already. If so, then I will. Let's see. Like I predicted, still 1 lap of racing remaining for him. So we will just switch back to the Italian Marco Di Buono. As he now comes weaving over the line, and it's Marco Di Buono with the most dominant race so far. He wins the first EXA Le Mans Ultimate race ever, so he's got a lot of bragging rights for that. Domination, domination, domination. That's the only word I will use to describe his race. Adam might have the pace of him, but still a really strong effort from him nonetheless. He comes over the line with 0% of fuel and will take 2nd place here. Look at his car being stopped over the line. And then 3rd place here for Veggie Hachuashi, I should say. He now comes over the line into 3rd place, so that's our podium in hypercar. Marco Di Buono in 1st, 2nd for Adam Modern, and then 3rd place for Ferdi Hachuashi. Now let's switch over to Noah Watcherson, who should be coming over the line any minute now. Meek's run out of fuel as well. And there's a car facing the wrong way. What's happened to Alu? They're going side by side for first place. Watcherson and Alu on the final lap of the race. How's this happened? Alu, I said that maybe he's timed this to perfection, and maybe he has. Into turn 14, he has come past Watcherson. Can Watcherson now maybe fight back? Has he got enough fuel? Watcherson to the inside. Alu leaves him no space whatsoever, or at least not any space he doesn't need. Watcherson on the inside. Aleski on the outside. Watcherson spins! Watcherson, he's led the whole way, but he does spin in the final corner after contact with Aleski Cavallo, and it means that Alu F1 will win the race. How's that happened? The gap was over 2 seconds throughout the whole race. And then suddenly there must have been a mistake. Either that or Alu has timed it to absolute perfection. Bizarre scenes here at the end, and at the end, Noah Watcherson does have to settle with with second place 10 seconds behind the leader. I didn't expect that dramatic twist. But yeah, it is the Finn, Alu, who has won today in the Iron Danes livery. Unexpected drama here in the GT class. What's happened there? To make the podium complete, it is Eetu Koskinen who takes third. After his overtake on Leonardo Domingos, he was able to extend that gap further and further, and at the end he extended it by 24 seconds. So great race from him, 2 Finns on the podium. But yeah, let's look at the official results. I know we aren't going to get the screen. But yeah, controversy at the end of the first ever Le Mans Ultimate race here on EXA. I must say that we've had a pretty clean race throughout. So I'm really positively surprised by that. Marco Di Buono, it was a very dominant performance by him, of course. And then in the final lap, the battle between the GT guys. So there's a lot to talk about in the LMU chat now. But that does mean that the first EXA race has come to an end. And that means that I will have to leave you here. Thanks to everyone stopping by. The first race is of course all about fine-tuning my settings for me as well, and just getting familiar with how the systems work. So I'm very glad for everyone giving feedback today. And yeah, we'll see you all next week. Have a great rest of your night and your weekend. Bye bye.